Welcome to Indieformer. I'm Josh, and today we're taking a look at some free games that you can download right now from itch.io. The quality of free games is only getting better, and these are a testament to that claim. Let's get into them. Aquamarine currently has a Kickstarter running to fund the development of their game. It's always nice to see a build of the game that's trying to secure funding, even if it's terrible. Aquamarine is by no stretch of the word terrible, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't need some help. The hand-drawn art style is beautiful, and they've nailed the 70s aesthetic. Aquamarine tells the story of a lone space traveler who is marooned on an unknown planet covered in water. You need to travel the ocean floor in search for treasures, food, and to uncover its secrets. There isn't a tutorial, so it's a confusing beginning. I sort of got the gist of what I was meant to do, but without objectives or a broader focus on what I was going for, I found myself being a little lost in this alien ocean. I know it's in early development, but it has the qualities to turn into something special. 2D animation takes an enormous amount of effort to do, let alone well. With the turn-based tactility this game is focused around, it can only go upwards from here. If you've played Game Dev Story or Game Dev Tycoon and liked them, then Startup Panic is for you. With isometric pixel graphics, Startup Panic tasks you with building your own business. It's a demo for a game that's to be released on Steam in 2019. The idea behind the game comes from the development studio being a startup company themselves, so why not make a simulation game about creating a startup? There's quite a bit going on at once and can be a little overwhelming when taking part in the tutorial. But if you put the time into understanding the interface, then it'll be a smooth experience. I couldn't work out exactly how the scores were calculated, so I think that whole experience needs a bit of condensing and needs to be slowly given to the player so it isn't so overwhelming. Build your website, add social features and profiles and beyond. There's quite a bit of depth in this, more than I initially thought, but it's quite obviously an unfinished game. Nonetheless, if you live for these types of games, then it should be one to follow. I'm being lenient with these lists and including titles that aren't just from this month. So if you have a game on itch that was released some time ago, let me know. Guardian Angel was released back in 2017, but is receiving consistent updates from the Spalato brothers, and if that name sounds familiar, it's because I interviewed one of them recently. You can check that video out via the card or the description. They've begun working on their next game, Guardian Angel, a horror adventure where your plane has crashed onto an island. It takes inspiration from the Weeping Angels villain of the Doctor Who series. You are tasked to walk around and turn on power switches, 6 of them. You need to move quickly because hesitating will cost you the game. The graphics are surprisingly polished and have no inherent downsides. The music and sounds get you in the mood for a horror game, and it's bound to give you a jump scare or two. Outpost Horizon Station is worth a download just for the loading and character selection screens alone. It has a beautifully unique art style that is retro and modern. The gameplay is simple: point and shoot. The primary aspect of Outpost Horizon is management. Dodge the oncoming enemies and bullets, make sure there's enough ammo in your weapon, and make sure you shoot in the right direction to account for movement. One mistake and you're falling into outer space or creating an explosion with an enemy. It's an easy to learn, hard to master game and is great once you start getting the hang of it. It's got a fantastic soundtrack that pulls the game together and gives it that extra punch. It's got challenges, unlockables, replayability. It's frantic but also clean. For free, you cannot complain. One Step from Eden is a deck-building roguelike with real-time combat. Using procedural generation, this demo is very polished and I hope the final game reflects this. One Step from Eden borrows from many games like FTL, Nuclear Throne, Risk of Rain, Hearthstone and many others, but it probably borrows the most in gameplay from Mega Man Battle Network. Move your way around a grid dodging enemy attacks while throwing yours to the other side. If there's a gameplay mechanic that you love so much, bring it into your game, but make sure you expand on it. There's an index of the cards you collect under the Spells tab after every round, so you can keep track of the cards you're collecting and study the images on them. Although remarkably similar to Mega Man Battle Network, the addition of the deck building aspect and other gameplay elements make One Step from Eden feel both original and like an homage. So borrowing from all of these titles doesn't degrade the quality or the experience. I can see myself spending hours just going through the stages and getting better and quicker as the difficulty increases. Let me know if you've played any of these games below. I'd like to read your thoughts on them. If you haven't already, consider subscribing so you know what free games you can play each month. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time here on Indieformer.